सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So we are seeing sthitaprajna lakṣaṇa athva jīvanmukta lakṣaṇa. We are seeing the characteristics of a liberated person. That same person, how that person is sthitaprajna, his prajna is sthita, we saw. How that person experiences the bliss of the self, sadanandam ashnute, that also we saw. How that jīvanmukta is always immersed in Brahman, Brahmani eva vilīnātma, that also topic we saw. So I am referring to verse number 427. Sthitaprajño yatirayam yassadanandam ashnute brahmani eva vilīnātma nirvikaro viniṣkriyah. So then onwards we saw that how that what is sthitaprajna. Next verse explained what is sthitaprajna. Then what do you mean by he is always enjoying the bliss, sadanandam ashnute is explained. Brahmani eva vilīnātma is also explained in the next 3 verses. So different facets of that liberated person are explained. For what? I hope you remember. So that what is natural for the jnani can become sadhana for us. It is not to judge anyone or to find out whether the person is jnani or not. It is not for that. It is to understand what I should do as sadhana to reach the same state that the jīvanmukta has reached, right? So that is where we are now. That concept of nirvikara, in the same verse, nirvikaraha viniṣkriyah. Nirvikara and viniṣkriya is there, isn't it? That nirvikara is further explained in 12 verses, which we are going to see now. So we are in verse number 431. Am I right? 431 we have to see, right? So let us see. śāntasaṃsārakalanaḥ kalāvānapi niṣkalaḥ yasya cittopi niṣcittah jīvanmukta iṣyate. śāntasaṃsārakalanaḥ kalāvānapi niṣkalaḥ yasya cittopi niṣcittah jīvanmukta iṣyate. What is said? śāntasaṃsārakalanaḥ. One whose kalanaḥ means modifications of samsara are shanta, have quietened. Means what? One for whom the samsara is not creating any kind of disturbance. śāntasaṃsārakalanaḥ. If at all we can just practice this one thing, no, our life is done, fulfilled. Why? Because we are always disturbed by samsara. Somebody said something, somebody did not say something, somebody looked at you, somebody laughed at you or smiled at you or did not smile at you. Little bit of weather change, little bit of situation change. Forget about all other things, little bit of sugar amount change in the tea and gone. The full day is gone in that only. They don't understand only what kind of tea I want and they give me, this tea, this is not tea. This is sugar syrup. One little bit sugar is increased, but we go up and down. Why? Because we are always perturbed. We are always disturbed by everything that is happening in samsara. And some people though, if there is nothing disturbing them, that disturbs them. That how come nothing is disturbing me? So that is how some people are. Something should keep happening. How is this jīvanmukta? śāntasaṃsārakalanaḥ. For him, all the modifications of samsara have quietened. Means what? There is no samsara for that person. The very quality of samsara is that it makes everything go up and down. Isn't it? It keeps everything changing. Now suppose somebody has become changeless, means what? They have gone beyond that samsara. śāntasaṃsārakalanaḥ. Now very beautiful explanation. kalāvānapi niṣkalaḥ. kalāvānapi niṣkalaḥ. Now kala word is used in various meanings in Vedanta also and in general parlance also. Kala is sometimes used as parts. Kala. So we say there are 16 kalas of that Chandra, of the moon. Moon keeps waxing and waning of the moon. You remember, it keeps growing and it keeps becoming smaller. Those things are called as kalas, parts. If you see in Prashna, Upanishad, etc., Shodasha Kala Purusha is explained. The self is said to be having these 16 kalas. Means what? These 16 kalas have come from it. So there the word kala means aspects. Beautiful aspects are there. The Pancha Mahabhutas, etc. Everything is there. And the 16th kala is Nama. Before that Rupa. And so many such aspects are there. Right? So there that kala word means aspect. Now generally when we use word kala in our common parlance, kala means art. Isn't it? Chitra kala, nritya kala, gana kala. Now here what is said, Kalāvān means one who has kalas, api, still, even though he is Kalāvān, still niṣkalaḥ, without any kala, without any parts, without any aspects, without any arts. Now what does this mean? What it basically means is, this concept of having kala or not having kala does not apply to him at all. So he is a talentless talent. Talentless talent. What do you mean by talentless talent? There may be different talents in him, but still he doesn't feel that these are all my talents. Why? Because upadhis will have it. There is nothing that Brahman can have which can be called as arts, which can be called as parts, or which can be called as aspects. That Brahman doesn't have all these things. He is Brahman. So all these kind of things, they don't exist for such a person. kalāvānapi niṣkalaḥ. So what is the point? He neither has knowledge nor does he have ignorance. Vichi, he doesn't have knowledge. See, what is the purpose of knowledge? The purpose of self-knowledge is to remove ignorance. Now, once that knowledge has done that job of removing ignorance, it will not stay. It will also go away. Remember Atmabodha? The moment I say this, you should remember Atmabodha. Those who have studied Atmabodha. Jalam katakarenuvat. Like that water which is dirty, which has the dust particles, and you put that kataka powder in it, alum in it. And then what happens? That alum powder collects all kinds of impurities and it also settles down. It also goes away. Why? Because if that doesn't go away, water will still remain impure. The impurities are gone, but now this kataka powder is remaining. That is still impurity. For Brahman, for the self, even knowledge is an impurity. Why? Because knowledge is something other than him. So knowledge removes ignorance and it also goes away. Therefore, he is kalāvānapi niṣkalaḥ. So you can say he is knowledgeable. You can say he is totally ignorant. Not ignorant of the self the way we are ignorant of the self, but the way that there is no knowledge. See, every day in the morning, do we have to remember, I am a man, okay? First of all, I am a human being, okay? Remind ourselves, I am a human being. Then I am a man. I am an Indian. Do we have to remember all these things? No. Why? Because it has gone so deep that you don't need thoughts. We don't need thoughts to do this. I am a jiva, okay? I am not Brahman. We don't have to do all that in the morning. Counter thing we have to do. We have to keep telling, I am not jiva, I am Brahman. I am not the jiva, I am Brahman. Right now we have to do that. But there will come a stage when that knowledge will remove the ignorance. And once it has removed the ignorance, it also will not remain. So you can't even call him knowledgeable. Oh, Veji, that means he is not knowledgeable. But you can't call him ignorant also. Why? Ignorance is also not there. Oh, so how ignorance is also not there, knowledge is also not there. Yes. Then what is there? Brahman alone is there. Now to add to this kind of explanation, he says, Yaha sachittah api niṣkalaḥ. He is sachittah. Chitta means mind. Sachittah means with mind. Api, even then, niṣkalaḥ, without mind. Chalo, le lo. Why? Because knowledge and ignorance is happening in mind. He is with mind, yet without mind. He is with mind, yet without mind. Why? Because he has no concept of with mind or without mind. He is beyond mind. He is beyond kalas. He is beyond knowledge. Sometimes when we read the explanation of Jīvanmukta, we feel that the scriptures are explaining Brahman to us. The similar explanation will be there in Upanishads about Brahman. Isn't it? Why? Naturally, Jīvanmukta is Brahman. What will scriptures do? They also have to explain it like that only. So that is the point. śāntasaṃsārakalanaḥ kalāvānapi niṣkalaḥ yaha sachittah api niṣkalaḥ saha jīvanmukta iṣyate. Such a person is considered as jīvanmukta, liberated while living. Jīvanmukta, liberated while living. What now continues? Let us see. Next verse. vartamāne'pi छायावदनुवर्तिनी ahantāmamatābhāvः jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam vartamāne'pi dehe'smiñchāyāvadanuvartini ahantāmamatābhāvः jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. Wow. Now what you see, vartamāne, asmin dehe, anuvartini. These are all in saptami ekvachan. Okay, so asmin dehe, in this body, or rather, let us put it as sati saptami. When this body, vartamāne, which is there at the moment, how is this body which is there at the moment? Chhayavat anuvartini. It is as though following me like a shadow. So that Jīvanmukta's feeling towards his body is what? That it is some kind of shadow which is following me. Ahamta mamata abhavaha. There is no sense of I-ness in the body and there is no sense of my-ness in the body. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. That is the characteristic of a Jīvanmukta. Now you see how beautiful this explanation is. See, we saw that in ignorant state, in the ajnana avastha, for all of us, we have this feeling of I and my. Towards few things, we have the feeling of I. This is me. Towards few things, we have feeling of my. Isn't it? My family, my house, my car, my iPad, my table, my. Now, when it comes to body, etc., we have feeling of I. Don't touch me. You have hurt me. What do you think I am? Now what is happening all here? We are considering body to be me, mind to be me, intellect to be me. Interestingly, in the same body, we have both feelings. Sometimes we consider the body to be me, sometimes we consider body to be my. My hand is paining, shoulder. What is this? What is happening now? I am not saying that I am paining. I am saying my hand is paining. But sometimes when my body is not well, I say I am not well. I am tall. I am short. I am an Indian. I am a Brahmin. Do you know who I am? What is happening? In this body, mind, intellect, it's a very interesting upadhi because that is where we have both feeling of I also sometimes and my also sometimes. In the world, we never have feeling of I. We never think that car is me. We may consider car is my. That is fine. House is my house, my family. But we don't have feeling of I. Whereas in this body, mind, intellect, what is happening? We have both feeling of I also sometimes and feeling of my also sometimes. Now for this Jīvanmukta, what has happened? He is exactly opposite to us. In the body that is persisting because of prarabdha, we have seen prarabdha is that which is set in motion, right? Like the fan. Even if you switch off the fan, it will take some time to stop. In the same way, prarabdha has already started giving result. Even if Jīvanmukta realizes, the body, mind, etc. may continue. Isn't it? We have seen this concept. It may continue for some time as long as prarabdha is there. Now, when that body and mind are continuing, what is the feeling of Jīvanmukta for this body and mind? There is no I-ness, there is no my-ness. What do he think it is? It is some kind of shadow which is following. Now when I am walking and shadow is following me and the shadow falls in the ditch, I don't feel anything. I don't say, oh, I have fallen in ditch. No. I don't take bath also. Why? Shadow has fallen in ditch. Sometimes when the car goes over the shadow, I don't say, car. Nothing. Why? I know very clearly, shadow. There are two things about this example, okay? One thing is, there is no feeling of I and my in the shadow. And second is, we don't care about our shadow. That also is there. Where the shadow is going, whether the shadow is big or small, whether it is correct, clear or unclear because the light is not clear. We don't care. Just as we don't care about our shadow, Jīvanmukta doesn't care about his body mind only. Tanum tyajatu va kāśyam śvapacasya grihetva jnānasaṃprāpti samaye muktosau. He doesn't care about where the body is falling. We all have that kind of thing. It should be in a holy place, in a holy time. Uttarayana should be there and I should go to Kashi, etc., where the body should fall. He doesn't care whether it falls in Kashi or whether it falls in the house of a Shwapacha, Chandala. It doesn't matter to him. Why? Jnānasaṃprāpti samaya muktaha asau. He has become liberated at the very moment of realization. So what is body? Something which is following like a shadow. When suddenly that shadow stops, why? Because there is no light, then shadow is not there. You don't search for shadow. Where is shadow? I want shadow. No, you don't care. Like that, the jnani also does not care. It is there, it is there. If it is falling in something, let it fall in something. If it is not clear, let it be not clear. If it is big or small, it doesn't matter. It stopped, let it stop. He doesn't care. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. This is the characteristic of a Jīvanmukta. Now what? Next one, let us see. Atītānanusandhānaṃ. Bhaviṣyadavicāraṇam. Audāsīnyamapi prāpte. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. Atītānanusandhānaṃ. Bhaviṣyadavicāraṇam. Audāsīnyamapi prāpte. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. I tell you, each of these verses, any one verse also we take it as sadhana, no, our life will be fulfilled. Any one verse we take it as sadhana. Now here what is said, atita, what has gone by, what is past, ananusandhanam, not reflecting about it, not thinking about it. Bhavishyad avicharanam, not thinking about avicharanam, about bhavishyad, what is going to happen in future. And prāpte, that which is coming in the present, audāsīnyam, indifference. Prāpte audāsīnyam, api. Api here means cha. So not thinking about what has happened in the past, not worrying about what will happen in the future, and total indifference towards what is happening in the present. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. This is the characteristic of a liberated person. Now this is what Gurudev also used to call as three leakages. In Kindle Life, self-unfoldment especially, if you see, he will speak of three leakages. He will say our mind, intellect, that energy is drained all the time. Why? Because we are thinking about the past or future. So he used to say, what? Regrets of the past, worry for the future, and excitement in the present. Regret of the past. The moment our age starts to increase, no? Isn't it? we start becoming old. Oh, wait, we should not call anybody old. Why? Why we should not call? We are getting old now. What is there not to call? Hair slowly have become now white. We are getting old. There is nothing wrong with it. No. You say senior citizen. Senior citizen. Don't say old people. Okay, fine. Whatever you want to say, you say. Point is what? As our age starts to increase, we start to think about past. Isn't it? What happened that time? What happened that time? What happened that time? And as the age goes little more, then we are worried about the future also. Why? Because the death is near. We feel it is just there around the corner and we become very worried about it. It's not just for old people. All of us do the same thing at all age groups. Sometimes in that middle age, when we are too busy, we may say that no, we don't have time. But no, we are planning for future. Always thinking about now this is done, now what is next, now what is that, now house I have to take, now for this house this much is required, now that is done, now this money I will take it from here and put it there. All the time either we are thinking about the past or we are thinking about the future. Or if not anything else, we are too excited about the present. Too much excitement in the present. How is Jīvanmukta? Doesn't think about the past, doesn't think about the future also, and remains indifferent about the present. That's why sometimes this Jīvanmukta is called Balavat. Isn't it? Sometimes he is called like that. Like he is a childlike person. Why? Child also doesn't have all these kind of thoughts. You must have seen, small kids. They don't think about past and future. Whatever is there in front of them, they enjoy that. And for them, there is no excitement. You must have seen very, very interesting. First birthday of any child. The whole family is excited except the child. The child first of all doesn't understand only what is happening. Okay, why are they dressing me up? No idea. And you will always see whenever that first birthday is there, everybody will be there for the party and child will be sleeping. Or a cake katna hai, it is getting late, why are you not cutting cake? Child is sleeping. If I wake that child up now, start crying and everything. Child doesn't care. Can we do that? Think. 50-60 people have come for the party for us and we are sleeping. Will we do that? No. Forget about the party time, Swamiji. Even before the party we can't sleep. Why? Thinking about tomorrow everybody will come, everything should go nicely and this should be arranged, that should be arranged, that should be arranged. We can't even think of it. Why? What will people say? Will that person come? Will that person not come? Have they arranged this? Have they arranged that? Everything we are thinking about. Isn't it? The child doesn't know also. That is how Jīvanmukta is. Not childish, but childlike. Not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future. Just in the present, but there also in the present, audāsīnyam. Indifference. Not overexcited because something nice is happening or dejected because something bad is happening. Audāsīnyamapi prāptaṃ. That's why I am saying if we can just take one verse and start following that, we will be on the right path. We will reach that stage. Why? Because every single characteristic of Jīvanmukta is so much of sadhana for us. It's very tough to keep our mind in the present. Extremely tough. Why? Because mind is like that. You tell him to be in the present, it will go all over the place. See, you try 15-20 minutes of meditation, we try, and so many things mind thinks about. All the useless things it thinks about at that time only. Sometimes that's why people don't do meditation. They say my mind becomes more disturbed after meditation. Why? I sit there and then all the unnecessary things which I never thought outside also, suddenly in meditation, it comes up. And how much ever I try, mind drop it. No, mind doesn't drop. some people, when they sit for meditation, different songs play in their meditation. Suddenly they remember some song. And then that line, now you understand that you are doing meditation and therefore song should not come to your mind. But mind is such, it will immediately throw you next line of the song. Then you say, shut up, shut up, shut up. Third line comes. By the time you are saying, I don't want, fourth line comes. Now other times when you want to sing, no line comes. You want to sing, you want that lyrics, that time nothing appears. You become blank. How that song begins? Beginning only we don't remember. Most of the times we don't remember beginning only. So we say, let me start with some other line, I will come to the beginning later. At that time we will not remember. But where we should not remember, we remember the whole song with lyrics, with the voice that the original singer has sang. Why? Because we tell something to the mind does exact opposite. So when we say that mind don't think about past and future, mind will think about past and future. It's a great sadhana. It's a great sadhana to tame the mind. Not to think about past and future, but to remain in the present. And that too, not overexcited, not dejected, just there in the present. That is what is the characteristic of a jīvanmukta. Now what? Continues. Let us see verse number 434. guṇadoṣaviśiṣṭe'sminsvabhāvena vilakṣaṇe sarvatra samadarśitvaṃ jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. guṇadoṣaviśiṣṭe'sminsvabhāvena vilakṣaṇe sarvatra samadarśitvaṃ jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. Beautiful. Another beautiful verse, characteristic of a jīvanmukta. Asmin. In this world, guṇadoṣaviśiṣṭe, which is full of positivity and negativity, goodness and badness, qualities and imperfections, faults. guṇadoṣaviśiṣṭe asmin svabhāvena vilakṣaṇe, which is by nature different, opposite. Vilakṣaṇa means opposite or different. Means what? The moment you say world, there are going to be things which are guna, there are going to be things which are dosha. It is bound to be there. Natural differences. Svabhāvena vilakṣaṇe. So if there are positive things, there will be negative things, because that's how the balance of the world continues. Positivities, negativities, qualities and imperfections and faults, everything goes together, hand in hand. Now what happens to us? We become too engrossed in these differences. And then based on our understanding of guna dosha, we have raga, isn't it? And dvesha, attachment, like or dislike. This is nice according to us, we want it. This is not nice according to us, we don't want it. So what have we done? We have divided the whole world into two. Things that I want, things that I don't want. No, Vechi, this is not true. Actually, we have divided it into three. There is a third category called I don't care. No, there is no such category called I don't care. Why? Because whatever we think that I don't care, we want somebody else to do it. We may out of irritation say I don't care. But actually, inside our heart, we want something to happen, even there. Think about it. Your wife comes and asks, should I wear pink or should I wear black? I don't care. No, you do care. Why? Because the moment she wears pink, you ask, why are you wearing pink? Why are you not wearing black? I asked you. That time you said, I don't care. Actually, we do care. For everything, we have clear idea whether this is good or not. And whatever we think is good, we want that to be there. Whatever we think is not good or bad, we don't want it. But Veji, this raga dvesha should not be there, no? Yes, correct. But then if raga dvesha should not be there, in the world there should not be things like guṇadoṣa. But world is like that. Svabhāvena vilakṣaṇe. By nature world is like this. That is how God's world is. Everything is balanced. Everything is balanced. If there is materialism increasing in the world, spirituality will also increase. Balance. Really? Yes. If there are more people who are turning towards materialism, there will be people from materialism turning towards spirituality. If there are more people doing adharma, there will be more people who will be turning and becoming dharmic also. It will be like this. One very famous dialogue is there in one movie. One of my favorite movies. It says, सृष्टि में शक्ति का संतुलन बना रहना चाहिए. In this world, the balance of power should always remain. There are two characters in this movie who always go on the side where the power is less. They keep shifting from here to there. Now, if the good people are getting too much, then they will support bad people. When the bad people are doing so much, they are increasing, then they will suddenly support the good people. Why? Balance should be maintained. Interesting. It is adaptation of Shakespeare's drama also, this movie. Makbul, the movie's name is Makbul. Macbeth's adaptation. Why are we telling this? Point is, in the world, there will always be things that are good and not good. Good and bad. Nice and ugly. Qualities and imperfections are bound to be there. We get affected by it. How is the jīvanmukta? Sarvatra samadarśitvaṃ. Sarvatra, everywhere. Samadarśitvaṃ. Equanimity of vision. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. That is the characteristic of the liberated person. Now carefully see, samadarśitvaṃ is said. Means what? He understands guna is guna, dosha is dosha, but he doesn't add his raga dvesha to it. Actually speaking, he doesn't even consider guna as guna, dosha as dosha. Why? Because what we think is guna is according to him dosha, possible. And what we think is dosha is possibly guna. See, forget about all these, jīvanmukta, etc. Even as sadhana, when we do know, we will realize this. What we always thought is a good thing will turn out to be a bad thing in our life. Which you know what happened? I was not going to come for this camp at all. But suddenly by God's grace I came. But whether it is good or bad, we don't know. Yet to be decided. Oh, I ran there from all the way, but somehow, I missed that train. Yes, but whether it is good or bad, yet to be decided. A sadhaka will look at everything as good only. Why? Because they understand that in the greater scheme of things, everything correctly falls in its place. We missing out on something, we getting something which we don't deserve. Everything falls in its place. It is only at the beginning we think, no, I want that and I don't want that and I want to go there and I want to... You see that most of the sadhakas who live life, doing sadhana in spiritual practices, attending Vedanta classes, etc., most of the times they are not too, particular, insistent on too many things. They do everything, then they say, if God wishes, it will happen. Are you going for Guruji's camp? I have registered. Then, let us see. What is this? You should go. Correct. I have registered. I have booked the ticket also. Then why because you never know. More and more Vedanta we study, the more and more we do sadhana, we realize that there is we may say that going here is a good thing, not going is bad. We may say that. We don't know what is there in God's mind. I did not go somewhere might turn out to be good. Not just for me, but for everybody. Of course, for many people, not going is good thing. For others who have gone. Achha hua nahi hai. Good that this fellow did not come. Headache only for us. You never know. This guna, dosha, etc., for that person it will not matter. And that's why sarvatra samadarśitvaṃ. Okay, samadarśitvaṃ has one more meaning. Sama also means Brahman. Bhagavan also says, in Bhagavad Gita, samoham sarvabhuteshu. Sarvabhuteshu aham samaha. Samo vai Brahma. Brahman is sama. So samadarśitvaṃ means what? Seeing Brahman everywhere. Sarvatra everywhere, Brahmadarśitvaṃ. He has one vision of Brahman everywhere. So guna, dosha, etc. That thing only does not exist. Such concept does not exist. In Brahman, what is good, what is bad? It is beyond all the concepts of good and bad. And that's why you will often see that these people will not be worried about adharma happening. Why? Because they understand if adharma will happen, dharma will come. They will support dharma. I am not saying no. I am not saying that they will support adharma, but they will know that everything will happen in its correct time. That kind of feeling comes. Sarvatra samadarśitvaṃ. So the world is full of differences, duality, opposite qualities. That is the nature of the world. We keep the vision of equanimity. Actually, to solve all the problems of the world, what we need today is this vision of equanimity. Advaita. This vision of oneness is what is required. Most of the world problems and India's problems and social problems are there because we see differences. The moment we start reducing it, automatically the problems will get solved. Now again, this is not solving world's problem. This is we solving our own problem of seeing differences. So if we change, the world will automatically start changing. Sarvatra samadarśitvaṃ. Now if this is the case, then next verse is automatic. What is the next verse? Let us see. 435. iṣṭāniṣṭārthasamprāptau. samadarśitayātmani. ubhayatrāvikāritvaṃ. jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. iṣṭāniṣṭārthasamprāptau. samadarśitayātmani. ubhayatrāvikāritvaṃ. jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. Now since the jīvanmukta does not see anything as guṇadosha, therefore there is no raga dvesha, and therefore iṣṭa aniṣṭa artha samprāptau. When samprāpti happens, when he attains something, obtains something, what is that? Artha, objects. What kind of objects? Iṣṭa, likable objects, favorable objects. anishta, unfavorable objects, dislikable objects. In obtaining both ishta or anishta artha, in obtaining likable objects or dislikable objects, ubhayatra avikāritvaṃ. In both, he is avikari. Avikari means nirvikara. There is no disturbance, unperturbedness. Ubhayatra, in both. Why? Atmani samadarśitaya. Because he is having that vision of equanimity in the self. He sees everything as the self only. So where is the question of iṣṭārthaprāpti, anishṭārthaprāpti, that I have got what I like, I have got what I don't like? Where is all these things? They won't be there. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. This is the characteristic of a liberated person. Now again somebody will ask question, Veji, iṣṭāniṣṭārthasamprāptau means, will he feel that it is ishta or anishta? No, it is for us. We are thinking that he has got iṣṭārthaprāpti, anishṭārthaprāpti. So, when Gurudev comes home, no, we should not make tea, okay? We should make coffee. Right? He likes coffee. Who likes coffee? For Jnani, likes and dislikes are for the upadhis. He has cut his connection with it. No, Veji, I met one Mahatma, and when tea was offered, he said, I don't want tea, I want coffee. My first-hand experience. Who said he doesn't want coffee, he doesn't want tea and he wants coffee? He said, his mouth said. Mouth is also part of upadhi only. So upadhi wants a change, upadhi will tell, upadhi will enjoy. He has nothing to do with it. This sadhana I want to practice. Vedji, now decided, final, thank you. Now onwards what I am going to do, I am going to ask for this and that. And then the moment somebody says that you should not, I will say, it is not me, it is my upadhi who wants. Best. Decided. So from today onwards, what? I want 5-star level of food, 5-star level of treatment everywhere that I go. I want to stay in AC room only. No fan, etc. will work. But it is not that I want. It is my upadhi which wants. You missed one point. What? Anishtārthasamprāptau api. When you get something that you don't like, will your mind remain unperturbed? That is the point. When we get everything that we want and our mind is calm and that is not a big thing. When we are not getting what I want or getting what I don't want, will our mind remain unperturbed? Jīvanmukta's mind remains unperturbed. Jīvanmukta remains unperturbed. Mind also, because sadhana, mind has done so much. Mind also doesn't care now. That is the point that is to be reflected upon. Will my reaction be same? Oh, tea, very good. Oh, no tea, very good. Will my reaction be same? If my reaction is same, then see, copying Jīvanmukta's actions is not sadhana. Please remember this point. Earlier also we had discussed. We are imitating the actions of Jīvanmukta is not a sadhana. What we need to imitate is the attitude, is the knowledge behind that action. Imitating action is fine. He is saying no tea, I want coffee. You also say no tea, I want only coffee. Imitating action is not sadhana. Somebody, I remember, one anecdote is there that somebody went to Gurudev and said that, Gurudev, your clothes, everything, very flashy today. What is special? Sometimes Gurudev will wear not cotton, that silk kind of cloth will be there. Especially when he will be in Siddhabari or Uttarkashi, etc., where you can wear silk. In Kerala, you can't wear silk at all. So when he will be here down south, he will never. Cotton is best. So somebody asked, how come today it is all flashy? I don't know. Whatever came to my hand, I wore that. He doesn't care about. Oh, we have full plan. Which day I am going to wear what, which day I am going to wear what. Now one day before marriage, this sari in the morning. Then in the night, this sari. Then marriage day, early morning, this sari. Then this time I will change and I will wear that sari. All planned. Why? Because we have that iṣṭāniṣṭa very clear. And suppose in between something happens and some sari, you forgot to iron, or you ironed and then it burnt, etc. Then your full planning is gone. Then you get very disturbed. Some people are so interesting that if somebody else has worn same color sari, they get disturbed. Or I wanted to wear green. You have also wore green. Now everybody will say that we are bandwalas. We are all wearing same colors. That also makes them disturbed. Why? Not only that I should wear this sari, but nobody else should wear the same color sari. How everything has to fall in its place, then I will become happy. So many conditions for becoming happy. Then everybody should come and tell me, you are looking nice. Okay, very beautiful sari. Very good. Don't say very beautiful sari. You say you are looking very beautiful in this sari. If you say very beautiful sari, then they will feel that you are commenting on the sari, not on them. So say very clearly, you are looking very beautiful in the sari. Then they become happy. Oh, thank you. Why? Little this and that and we become disturbed. It is easy to imitate the actions of jnani. But the real sadhana is to understand from what level of knowledge he is experiencing everything. That samadarśitayā, that is the important word. If we are able to maintain that equanimity, why? Because iṣṭāniṣṭārthasamprāpti or aniṣṭāniṣṭārthasamprāpti is not in our hand. We get according to our prārabdha. So whether I will get iṣṭārtha or not, or aniṣṭārtha, that depends on our prārabdha. When it comes, be equanimous. That is the characteristic of a liberated person, sadhana for us. Clear? Don't imitate. I am warning again and again. Don't even comment or say that, oh, this jnani is not a jnani. Why? He is asking for coffee. So what? So what? That jnani can remain without eating and drinking anything for days together. Can you? Try. One day we go somewhere and we don't have tea in the morning. We arrange so much here and there and tea should be there. Isn't it? We do all kinds of things for that half glass of tea. And jnani is the one who remains unperturbed. Iṣṭārtha, very good. Aniṣṭārtha, very good. But very good does not change for jnani. Clear? That is how jnani is. Now what? Next, he continues. 436. Brahmānandarasāsvāda asaktacittatayā yateḥ antarbahiravijñānaṃ jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. First line should be chanted together. It's one word. brahmānandarasāsvādāsaktacittatayā yateḥ antarbahiravijñānaṃ jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. Brahma, Ananda, Rasa, Asvada, Asakta asaktacittatayā. One word. Cittatayā. Tritiya vibhakti. Due to chitta, mind, asakta, being totally immersed in asvada, enjoyment, of rasa, essence, of ananda, bliss, of Brahman. Brahma, ananda, rasa, asvada, asakta cittataya. Due to the mind being totally immersed in the enjoyment of the essence of bliss of Brahman. Start from the end. Due to chitta, mind, asakta, being immersed in asvada, enjoyment, of rasa, essence, of ananda, bliss of Brahman. Too much. Basically, what is the point? The mind is immersed in Brahman. You should say like that now, simply. Why are you complicating? Arey, yateḥ, that's the beauty of poetry. You can't do like that. Yateḥ, for this jnani, since his mind is totally immersed in that enjoyment of the essence of bliss of Brahman, antaha, inside, bahihi, outside, avijñānaṃ, he is totally ignorant. He is ignorant about what is happening inside and what is happening outside. Now, what is this inside, outside with respect to what? With respect to the body. With respect to body, inside is your mind, your thoughts. He doesn't care about that also. Outside there is world. He doesn't care about that also. Viji, sometimes I am like this. I don't care. You may not care about the action, but when the reaction comes, you start caring. Isn't it? So it is not called freedom. Freedom is what? Avijñānaṃ, non-perception of what is happening inside and outside. That's why with this jnani, the best thing is he doesn't even care whether the mind is always in sattva or not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There are sadhanas which we should pick up from this whole thing. That is why I was explaining in the last verse also, you can't pick up such kind of sadhanas which is imitating the actions of the jnani. Because that is not actually sadhana. Here also you can't say that yes, I am going to be ignorant about it. No. And even if we say like this, we are very much worried about what we are thinking, what people are thinking. What people are thinking about us is we are more worried about. How that person is perceiving me. Am I presenting myself properly? Am I able to communicate what I want to say properly? Will that person understand me? Why do you? Because we are so much worried about what is happening outside, what is happening inside. Whereas for this jnani, how it is? Avijñānaṃ. Doesn't care. Jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. This is the characteristic of Jīvanmukta. Why is he not aware of anything? Because his mind is merged somewhere else. Mind is merged somewhere else. Why will you care about all the pity party, small things of the world? When you get crores of rupees, why will you care about 1 or 2 rupees, saving 1-2 rupees? Haven't you seen? Millionaire, while walking, a coin falls down. He does not even bend to pick it up. He says, let it be. Why not? For that person who is a millionaire, 1 rupee, 2 rupees, what? Has no value. One who is experiencing bliss of Brahman, for him these little joys of this world, inside or outside, will they entice him? Not at all. Not at all. That is the characteristic of liberated. 2 more verses we'll see. Let us see one more verse. 437. Dehendriyadau kartavye ममाहं भाववर्जितः औदासीन्येन यस्तिष्ठेत् स जीवन्मुक्तलक्षणः। देहेन्द्रियादौ कर्तव्ये ममाहं भाववर्जितः औदासीन्येन यस्तिष्ठेत् स जीवन्मुक्तलक्षणः। देह इंद्रिय आदौ, in the body, senses, etc., kartavye, in the duty, etc., mama aham bhava varjitah, mama my, aham I, bhava varjitah, without the sense of I and my, in the body, mind, intellect, in the body, senses, etc., or in the activities and duties that the body, mind, intellect are performing. So one who has got no feeling of I and my in the upadhis or in the functioning of upadhis, audāsīnyena yastishtet. Yaha, one who is audāsīnyena tishtet, remains indifferent. Audāsīnyam abhikṣatāṃ. In sadhana panchakam it comes. Audāsīnyam abhikṣatāṃ. You should develop what is audāsīnya, indifference. There is a difference between I don't care and indifference. Carelessness is not indifference. Indifference is being beyond it. It is not the attitude of carelessness. Indifference and carelessness, there is a difference in both of that. What is said? Audāsīnyena yastishte. He remains indifferent. Indifferent, unaffected, unperturbed, unchanged, untouched. Nirvikara. Remember that nirvikara word is getting explained here, isn't it? So he remains that unperturbed. Audāsīnyena yastishtet saha jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah. He is a person having the characteristics of jīvanmukta. Saha, he is a jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah. He is jīvanmukta, of course. He is jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah. Jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah is adjective for jnani. See, so far what Shankaracharya was saying, jīvanmuktasya lakṣaṇam. These are the characteristics of a jīvanmukta. But here he is talking about yaha audāsīnyena tishthet, one who remains indifferent. Saha jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah. Lakṣaṇam is not there, carefully see. Saha jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah means what? He is the one having the characteristics of jīvanmukta. Means what? He is jīvanmukta. Saha jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah. So jīvanmukta lakṣana is adjective for saha, jnani. Jnani is the one who is having the qualities of jīvanmukta. Why? Because he is jīvanmukta. Right? One more verse we will see. 438. Vijñāta ātmano yasya brahma bhava shruter balat bhavabandha vinirmuktah sajivanmuktalakṣaṇah. Vijñāta ātmano yasya brahma bhava shruter balat bhavabandha vinirmuktah sajivanmuktalakṣaṇah. Yasya, for whom, atmanah brahma bhavaha vijñātah. Atmanah, of the self. Brahma bhava, being Brahman. Vijñātah is realized. For whom the oneness between the self and Brahman is realized. How? Shrutehe balat. By the power of affirmation of Shruti. So he has followed the Shruti Vakya, he has followed the scriptural injunctions, He's followed it with yukti, and now it is his anubhuti that Atman and Brahman are one. Not Atman and Brahman are same, Atman and Brahman are one. Same means there are two things which are similar. One means there are no two things. There is only one thing which is called in two names. Atmanaha brahmabhavaha yasya vijñātah. Katham shrutehe balat. Saha bhavabandha vinirmuktaha. He is vinirmuktaha. Absolutely, totally free. Muktaha means free. Nirmuktaha means totally free. Vinirmukta means absolutely, totally free. Means what? He is so much free that he will never become bound. That's what it means. Free from what? Bandha, bondage. Bondage of what? Bhava, samsara. Bhava bandha vinirmuktaha. He is absolutely, totally free from the bondage of samsara. Saha jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah. He is having the characteristics of jīvanmukta. So the realization of oneness of Atman and Brahman will lead to liberation from the bondage of samsara. Isn't it? That is what it is. That is what it is. What is happening? That realization of oneness leads to liberation. See here also, yasya atmanaha brahma bhavaha vijñātah saha bhavabandha vinirmuktaha bhavati. He becomes free. Jīvanmukta lakṣaṇah. He is the one having the characteristics of jīvanmukta. Okay. Few more characteristics we will see in the next session. Now Shankaracharya is reveling. Just reveling. He is actually telling his autobiography now. Why? Because that is his direct experience. All other kinds of autobiographies were according to the body and mind of Shankaracharya. You were born here and then he went to Omkareshwar, then he did this and then he did parikrama, etc. That and all such biographies you will have in many places. Digvijayas are there. This is the real biography of Shankaracharya. Why? Because he was a jnani and he is speaking about the lakṣanas of that jnani. It's coming from his own anubhuti. Right? Let us continue next session. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.